Simon to talk through that.
Okay, thanks. Hello, everyone. What we're going to do is we've kind of invented a little scenario just to give you an idea of the workflow that we're kind of imagining for this collaboration technology. So what we've done is we've got a 30-second commercial for Porsche. I'm going to be doing sound effects and stuff over here. Dave is going to be collaborating with me remotely, so you have to imagine that Dave is at home in his studio somewhere sunny. Well, let me just play you a little bit about what we've got. So I'm just working kind of locally right now. What you can see is that I've pretty much finished the sound effects. So I'm nearly ready to bring Dave on board. I'm actually just going to do a couple of finishing touches here. So you can see that we're working with a live session. We have some transitions here. We're going to drop a couple of extra sound effects in. We're actually going to use the Pro Sound Effects library running inside of SoundMiner right here. So I've actually already kind of looked up some low hit type effects here. This might be a bit loud. There we go. This kind of thing. Let's go with that. So we're going to drop a couple of these in. I'm just going to trim that up and spot it in. Let's just trim that a little bit. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use the video track here. So the videos come in from Media Composer. That's the workflow that we're showing. So we get this nice feature where we can see all the cuts that I'm sure you're familiar with. That means I can use those cuts to kind of snap my edits to. So I'm going to copy this across to my shots that I'm interested in. There we go. Just trim that one out a little bit. So we have something like this. Okay, so this is also kind of an excuse for us to give you a little sneak preview of a new plugin that we're working on. This is the Avid Pro Sub Harmonic plugin. It's kind of try and beef up these sounds a little bit. There you go, you get the idea. So that's just to kind of a little extra we wanted to throw in. Alright, so I'm about ready now to bring Dave on board for the music. So the first thing I need to do is I need to post this session to my cloud account. And you can see we've got a cloud menu here. Bear in mind some of this is going to look different in that shipping version. It's post local. So the first thing I'm going to do is create a project for this. We'll call it Porsche. I can't type. Add. And this project essentially is like a container for all the tracks that we're going to be sharing throughout the project. And we can start adding metadata at this point. I've actually got a couple of templates here for the fields that I'm interested in. So let's say we want to say that it's English. We can tag it, anything that we want for kind of future reference. And these tags are going to persist throughout all the media and through to the end and delivery and archive. Okay. So the next thing I need to do, I'm going to now go to my project tab, and you'll see that this project is now live. There we go. So I'm going to select it, and then I can invite people to collaborate. So here I have a list of all the people in my group. I'm going to start searching for Dave. There he is. Let's hit OK.
Okay, so you have a look on my screen over there. You can see in my project tab, I've actually got an invitation here. So I'm going to accept the invitation, and by doing that, actually Simon's already going to start chatting with me and explain to me exactly what we're going to be working on this session. So here we go.
Text chat or inline video chat. Right, there you are. Hello.
Hello.
I have to keep remembering not to look.
No, don't look. It's not there. It's not there. It's over here. Okay, that's fine. Good.
So, Dave, good to see you. What we need for this project is basically some music. We haven't got much time. Maybe we could use some a production library of some kind. I've left a couple of hit points in, markers for you to try and hit where we need the music to really kick in. We also cut the video to a temp music track with very particular kind of rhythmic content. So I've left a bars and beats grid in there for you that might be helpful. So over to you.
Okay, so what I need to do now to start the collaboration process, I'm going to open my own local copy of the session. So when I do that, that creates a session on my drive. So Simon's got his session on his drive, and then the Pro Tools collaboration is taking care of synchronizing those two sessions. So my session starts off empty.
So right now I haven't actually shared any tracks. So that's what I'm looking at my session here. I don't want Dave to see all of this stuff necessarily. He just needs kind of a guide and some video. So rather than share all the tracks, I'm just going to switch to viewing essentially my aux masters. So I've got my video, my voiceover effects music, and final mix. I'm just going to send those to him, share those with him. So he's got a basic structure for the session, and we're also going to share some effects. So the first thing to do is here we have a new collaboration view within the tracks. And by clicking this little icon here, I'm choosing to share that with Dave. So you can see they've gone green. Next, I want to handle the effects. So rather than sending all those sources, as I say, I'm actually going to choose the option Post as Frozen. Now when I click that, it's actually going to render all of the signals that we're going to be running through that aux as a stereo mix that Dave's going to get.
So of course this is making use of the the fast and real-time bounce that we introduced with the 64-bit Avid audio engine with Pro Tools 11. So if you look at my screen, we've got a new area here just in the bar where I've got a yellow arrow. It tells me that there are tracks available. So tracks have been shared with me, and I click on the down arrow to download them. So I shall do that, and they shall appear as if by magic. So I have, let's just move the video screen out the way. So you can see the videos come across from Simon. Also, you've got this auxiliary Sodmaster with audio on it. So anyone who knows anything about Pro Tools, this is a kind of a strange thing. But essentially, all of the audio which was going through that auxiliary Sodmaster in the original session has been rendered into this track, so I can just monitor it. So if I play this back, I can hear the booms that Simon just created. Okay, so there's not much going on right now apart from those sound effects, so I'm going to add some music to this. And rather than create something from scratch, what I'm going to do is go to the Avid marketplace and see what I can find on there. So the marketplace will be somewhere where content creators will be able to buy and sell products. So lots of sessions have been posted onto the marketplace, and I'm going to use the keyword drive to see if I can find something which suits a car commercial. And strangely enough, the very first thing that comes up is something called Cars and Guitars, and I think that's going to work really well. So I'm going to just choose this one. If I click play, I can preview it. Okay, so Rich already mentioned this. This is part of the PXF format, so I'm actually going to be downloading a PXF file in a moment. But the PXF format has this rendered preview track, so even though I'm not opening up the whole session, I can just hear the stereo mix of what it sounded like. So click on Purchase, enter my Avid account details, charge my credit card, and I shall log in and download my PXF file, and there it is. So let's go back to Pro Tools, and I need to bring that PXF file into Pro Tools, so I just drop that into my session here. It brings up my regular import session data dialog box, and let's see what those music tracks sound like. Okay, here they come. So just play back a little bit. Okay, so a nice kind of heavy rhythmic track. I think that's going to work really well with our car commercial. So before I carry on, I'm going to do a few edits to this because Simon mentioned the original track, or the video edits were done to a BPM of 110. The track that I've just bought is 115. Now I've spotted it to bar 1 of this session, so I know that the beginning is correct. So what I need to do now is find a downbeat in my music track and then match that up to a downbeat in my session. So to do all of that, very, very simply, I'm just going to use elastic time. So first of all, I need to identify the my downbeat. So if I just, I did do, so let's use Pro Tools fantastic tap to transient feature to find the right spot. So we'll just have a look at that. Okay, so that's the downbeat that I want, so I'll mark that up as a sync point. Turn on elastic time, and I'm going to switch to warp view, and what warp view does is allows me just to grab that transient there and drag it to the correct place. If I grab it, you can watch the video updating, and there's a downbeat there, and I know there's a video cut on the downbeat. let go, and the track now is in time with the rest of the edits. So finished with all of that, and I think what I'll do is so that Simon can actually start, carry on doing some work while I'm messing around with the music. I'm actually going to share those music tracks with him so that he's got an idea of the kind of thing that we're working with while I do some more edits. So the same process that Simon went through, click on the Collaborate tab, they will go green, it will upload those tracks to the cloud, and then Simon, any second now, will have a notification to tell him that there are tracks which are available to download. There we go.
Okay, so let's move that media up onto the cloud. So I'm going to bring those down. There you go. So as those are kind of downloading, you can notice that there's a really cool feature here, which is the tracks that I'm sharing from someone else. These clips actually have Dave's name in them, so we can actually see who's contributed which parts of the session, and that will persist throughout the project.
Good. So Simon's got something to work with, so I'm going to do some edits on this track, and there's a couple of things I want to do. First of all, there's a sort of a sound effect, a click sound effect. You can see on the video here, the driver presses a button in the car. You hear this click, and I don't want the music to get in the way of that, so I'm just going to lock out a piece of the audio there, and so there's a nice gap for that click before the track comes back in. Good, okay, so that's the first thing I want to do. I'm pretty good at this. So the other things I want to do is I'm going to tidy up the arrangement a bit. I don't want any drums in the beginning. I don't want these guitars in the beginning. I'm going to move a couple of other things out of the way. So just change the arrangement a little bit. And the changing of the arrangement is possible because it's a PXF file. So if I just bought a stereo track, I'd be stuck with it. I'd just be able to edit it. But because I bought a PXF file, I've got all the stems, so I can actually change the arrangement around as well. So one last thing I want to do, there's a track here with a bass line on it. So let's just have a quick listen to that. It sounds fine, but I think it could just be a little bit more interesting, a bit more gritty. So I'm going to use the 11 plugin from Avid to try and just change it a little bit. So I've got some presets ready to go here, so let's see how these sound. Okay, so that, for me, I think that sounds a bit better. So I'm going to use that, I think, in the track. Now, I'm going to make use of the function that Simon's already showed you, because as a sound effects editor, I'm pretty sure that Simon doesn't have the 11 plugin. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to post the track as frozen. What that will do is it will render the audio together with that 11 plugin effect. So that when he brings that back in, he doesn't have to have the plugin in his session. So if I just right-click on there, choose to post as frozen, and then again that will do the render and upload that. So that uploads it to the cloud, ready for Simon to download. And the last thing I'm going to do is just push the other edits that I've done, so that Simon has my complete, up-to-date, fantastic music edit.
Cheers, brilliant, well done. So I'm glad you're not charging an hourly rate. So while Dave's been working on the music, I have been working on the voiceover, which has magically appeared here, as you can see. So I'm going to now bring in what Dave's done and just check that it all works together. So these are the music tracks that I was working with. I can see I have some updates, so let's see what happens. You might not getting all of those. Okay, let's do that. There we go, they will come down now. So you can see that I've got the edits that Dave's done. I've also, the tracks have changed colour. That's just Dave's kind of way of showing me that the version, we've actually changed something. So we should be nearly ready to go. Let's have a quick listen.
How much power is in a single drop of fuel? How much passion?
So that's not bad.
Booming.
So listen to the listen to the back end.
Introducing the quotient of
So not so sure about this bit. That 11 effect is a little bit too much for me with the voiceover. So I actually really like to change that. But as you can see, this track is frozen, so I can't really change that. If I zoom in a little bit here, you can see we've got a frozen plugin and the track is frozen. So what I'm going to do actually is I want to try and get into this, so I'm going to unfreeze the track. And now Pro Tools is warning me you don't have this plugin, but would you like to buy it? Of course, yes, that's what I'm going to say. This is where you see the integration with the marketplace. So that's now taken me straight to the 11 download page in the marketplace with some rental or purchase options. Let's rent it. And this is the bit you're going to really like if you use Pro Tools. If I purchase that now, that's going to download the plugin, but I don't have to quit Pro Tools, install, license it, reload the session. It's all going to happen live. Yes. Good. So there you go. It's installed the plugin, licensed it, and it's Snapchat into the session. So let's have a listen. We can actually change this. Something a bit less boomy. All right, I'm happy with that. I'm also quickly, I noticed that we're running over at the end a little bit on that music, so I'm just going to use this bars and beats grid that we were working with, just chop out a couple of bars at the end. Something like that there. I'm just going to do a kind of classic Pro Tools shuffle edit at the end. Again, just so we got stuff we can show you changing. There we go, let's see how we're sounding now.
Portia,
Brilliant.
there is no substitute.
That's much better.
Perfect. I think that's ready to deliver now. So I'm just about ready to deliver. I'm just going to push the changes that I've made to Dave. I don't need to have this track frozen anymore. I'll give you the voiceover to